Today's lesson is about recognizing key points and understanding diagrams. Okay, this is crucial because skills like this, even the CER, I'll be touching on CER as well. Okay, you need to participate actively. Okay, letting me know that you already have understood. You can recognize key points. You can gather the information or make conclusions from diagrams given to you. Okay, and then the CER approach, every now and then we'll be discussing it. So if you are very good at it, congratulations. But if you are not, then that is not going to score you points in PSLE. Right, so we are all working towards PSLE, and today is the release of the results, right? Yeah, so there are some students who already messaged me to tell me, their score. Okay, so those who are extremely weak, they actually made it. Okay, they had problems even passing science previously, but now they are doing fine, like AL4, AL5. Then those who are aiming for AL1, yes, they did achieve their AL1 also. Okay, so I'm so happy to hear from them. Okay, so it's going to be your turn next year to do PSLE. You need to start now. You cannot take breaks. You cannot relax and chill. Of course, you can play your games. You can also, I know some of you like to play games on your handphone, etc., right? There's nothing wrong with playing games, but there has got to be a limit. Okay, so set limits for yourself. Now, before we really start on today's topic, now I want to get Rachel to share the toy that she has made. All right, she sent me the picture. She sent me her write-up also. Okay, so those who are not sure what I'm talking about, especially when you're new, the last few sessions, right, we were talking about toy making. So there were 2 tutorials. We did toy making. The first tutorial, which is tutorial for the 3 Headstart to P6, I actually explained to them how toys can be made, okay, making use of science concepts. I even demonstrated the making of toys. Okay, I have a few toys at home, right? So they have seen how I made it on the spot. Okay, how I use very simple materials to make interesting toys. So they were told to do some research on their own, and then, okay, see, I'm not too sure also, all right? I'm not too sure also, but I will, you have my number, right, Ziying? You can text me. So what happened is the students, after they have made their toys, they presented during the last session. A few of them couldn't complete because of, the parts haven't arrived. They bought very cheap parts to make the toys. They don't spend a lot of money because I don't allow it. Okay, so most of the items they use are actually found at home. Yeah, okay. Some of their toys broke, so they couldn't present it. Okay, Rachel's one was a little bit tedious to make, so she took longer time. Yep, so today she's going to present her toy, and after presentation, right, if she can show us her toy, how it functions, and she can explain the science concept behind it, she will get our 88 tuition pop-it. If you can see, okay, so this is the pop-it. All right, so most of them already have received this or awarded with this pop-it. I will be sending it over, so you have to check your letterbox. Okay, so those of you who are overseas or going overseas, yesterday I had a student who told me that he's actually in China. All right, so he will have to wait for his return to Singapore before he can find the pop-it in the post box, in the mailbox. Okay, Rachel, you ready to share? Not ready, Why are you not ready? I look at your toy, it looks good, Hold on, Let me just take a look. Yeah, Raymond, now I see your message. Hold on, let me just check the message from Rachel. Okay. Rachel, don't worry. Whatever that you have sent me, right, is good. Okay, you cannot be fearful of presenting things to your friends. Can? So I will show the picture. Okay, I will show you all the picture that she has taken for her toy. Yeah, so the new students, you can take a look at what they have done. Later, if there is time, I will show you the videos and the pictures of the other toys. This is what Rachel made on her own, okay? So what do you all think this is? Rachel, you want to unmute yourself and maybe share with us?
It is a robotic arm.
Robotic arm, yeah. That's right, Raymond also know. Okay, how does this toy work?
You pull the strings and the fingers will fold to grab stuff and stuff.
All right. Okay, so what is the concept behind this?
The concept.
What is the concept behind this toy?
When you close your hand, the fingers will go together to create a fist using the muscle from the forearm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, using the muscle from the forearm, right?
The forearm muscle pulls on
Mm.
tendons that go along the wrist.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, right, So there's the science principle of like, you use your muscles in your forearm. Okay, and then there's a lot of biology behind it, right? Okay, then so the science behind it, this robotic arm, Rachel, we are losing your voice. Okay, maybe I share what you have typed to me, right? In the chat for everybody to read. Can? Yeah. So this is the science behind it. If you can see what I have sent in the chat, right? This robotic arm, right, uses mechanical and physical principles related to forces, okay, and pulling. Right, you have not studied the topic on forces, but you're going to do this. You're going to learn this in P6. Okay, so when the human close their hand into a fist, okay, you can actually feel that there are muscles that are being activated in your forearm. You can try doing the action and then you try to feel the muscles that are working. Right? So what happened is if you were to look at this toy, there are strings here, right? With all the holes, right? Rachel, you are supposed to put the fingers into these holes, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes,
Yes.
Yeah, and then when you make the pulling action, okay, when you pull at these strings here, right, these fingers are the robotic fingers will also clench into a fist. You can even carry a bottle of water, a can of Coke as well. Right, not Rachel? Yeah, good. So were you able to do that? Were you able to? Very good. Okay, great. So things that you probably cannot carry before because it's too big, right? You can actually use this robotic arm to help you carry it up. Okay, let's go on with our lesson. Anybody else presenting today? Today is the last chance, idea. Nobody? All right, congratulations, Rachel. You are getting the pop-it. I will be sending it to you. You need to give me your address. You text me, you WhatsApp me, Ken, your address. Thank you. Okay, so back to our lesson today. Okay, recognizing key points. So recognizing key points is very important. All of us are working towards PSLE, right now. Okay, so every question, there are a lot of pointers given to you. Okay, there are a lot of pointers given to you. Now, obviously, you must first read the question and understand it before you answer the question. So how do you actually understand the question well? Of course, you need to identify key points, key phrases. Okay, then you know what the question is asking for, and then you answer to the point. Okay, it's going to be very helpful if you can identify the topic or the concept tested. Okay, identify the topic and the concept tested. You remember during tutorial, we actually went through this a lot of times, right? Yeah. Okay, Tanishka, you can do it later. Okay, you can do it later. No problem. Right, so some examples of questions as well as key phrases and key points in the question will be given to you here. Okay, so example 1A. So this person, Frankie, he obtained 2 identical rocks from a garden that had moss growing on it. He placed one rock in a room where the air was very humid, and then the other rock in a room where the air was dry. 1 week later, he checked both rocks for the amount of moss left on the rocks. If you see this particular question, okay, there are actually the following key phrases and points you should be able to identify. Right? So they talk about identical rocks, right? From the garden. Then take note, there are moss growing on the rocks. Okay, so all these pointers, you must take note. Many times people just scan through the question and then they missed out certain key points. Okay, so it seems like almost every sentence is important now, and there are cases like this also. Okay, you realize that these questions that I have given here is a very short one. Okay, but there are so many pointers to take note of, a lot of information given. So one rock place where air was humid, and then another rock place where air was dry. So the amount of moss left on rocks were checked after 1 week. So obviously, this question is testing on the plants chapter, right? When do you learn this chapter? Which level? Is it P5 or is it P4 or is it P3? Those of you who studies science in Singapore schools, you should know. P3. Very good, Tanishka. Okay. Now, Rachel, not our Rachel, okay, but Rachel put a few grasshoppers in a plastic bag. So she knew that all living things need air to survive. So she blew air into the plastic bag and tied the mouth of the bag. To her surprise, the grasshopper died after a short while. Okay, first thing I ask you is, what topic is this testing on? You can either type into the chat, okay? Or if you want to unmute, you got to raise your hand. What is the topic testing on? Okay, good. Akshayan, is it? Is this the correct way to pronounce your name?
Yeah.
Okay, can I call you Shayan?
Call me AK.
AK, okay, AK sounds good. Right, Isabel also responded. Very good. Yes. Okay. Shen Shen, what do you think, Shen Shen? So this is the topic on living things and non-living things, right? So you learn this actually in P3, the early part of P3. All right. So what are the various information? I'm going to show you an example. Later you're going to do hands-on. So there are a few grasshoppers placed in plastic bag. Okay. So can you see the bold words? A few grasshoppers placed in plastic bags. All right. Then we know, okay, it's also given inside the question, living things need air to survive. Now, air was actually blown into the plastic bag. That's another point that you need to take note of. Okay, the mouth of the bag was tied. Yeah, and then grasshopper died after a short while. So this topic, obviously, okay, knowing that this special sentence is given, living things need air to survive, is telling you the topic already. It's a very, very big hint. Okay, so it's on living things and non-living things. Now, if you want to know what can actually proceed from there, they can link this question to a topic you just covered in P5. Okay, a topic that you covered in P5. That is air and respiratory system. Okay, it's just that you only looked at the information from the question. You have not actually read the part question and expected to answer. So what you need to do every time when you read certain question, you need to underline the key phrases. So these are the key phrases that we were talking about for this particular